Hi, this is Mike from M&B Airgun Reviews, and just a friendly reminder to always practice gun safety and exercise responsibility. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye. Hey YouTube, welcome to another little quick episode of M&B Air Gun Review. As promised today, we're going to go over the Dpms SBR by Crosman. Nice little plinking BB gun for the backyard. Also very nice to brush up on some skills. It's a very decent gun, as you can see. I have it separated right now. We're going to start out this route just separated so we can take a look at some internals on this. Very simplistic design, but simplicity is good. It keeps it functioning nice. The first thing I do with my air rifles, when I get AR style air rifle, as you know, there's your Bushmaster version, which are pretty much the same thing. I go in and I like to lubricate. I like to get myself some seal lubricator, lubricate all the seals before I fire it. Make sure all my moving parts are lubricated properly before I fire it. Even with a BB gun, you want to do that. You want to make sure everything's working properly and clean. Make sure there's no debris in there from the manufacturing process, things of that sort. It's a very, very, very realistic looking SBR. So realistic, in fact, you don't want to banish this in public. You're gonna people are gonna think it's definitely real. It's got the same heft, feels the same in the hands. It's very realistic looking and feeling, and that's the beauty of it, right? We want the realism. Now this particular SBR by DPMS, this has a rate of fire of about 1,400 rounds per minute, depending on how many of these you got ready to rock and roll and fully charged with CO2. This also has a 430 feet per second rate of fire, which I have increased this a little bit using some techniques that I've learned a little bit through the years. It's something that I recommend to do with any ammunition simply because of manufacturing process, but it does help out in your rate of fire. We'll get to that in a little bit. I've seen rate of fire on this particular SBR of 430 to 441 is on my high side. I've seen a low with the way I do it of 398. Out of the box, you can be well below 398 if you're not using premium BBs and improper lubrication and an unmaintained gun for sure. So you want to make sure that maintenance is the key, guys. Okay, this is a polymer lower. This is a regular AR pistol grip on here. You pretty much can fit any AR pistol grip of any decent quality on this and swap it out. Stock's fully adjustable. Mine pulls off. You got to give it a good tug. Most of them are like that, but that's just how it goes. But if you come out normal, it locks where it's supposed to. It's a real quality piece. You're not going to be changing this one out like you are, say, on the other version of this gun, the Bushmaster, which is totally swappable. But this is kind of like a mag pull style on it anyhow, so you're already upgraded, you're already there, so you really don't need to do that anyhow. It's got a nice rounded trigger well on it. If you're going to use this with gloves or anything out in the cold, at least you can fit your fingers in there. Everything seems to be machined really nice inside, and you do have the actual functioning buffer tube and buffer inside. Okay, now we'll try to button this up here. But what we got to do first is we have to put this in. There's actually a direction that this goes, and you want to make sure you get it right, or it will not function properly. And I believe that's the correct way, right there. So you want the fat end, this end here, up there like so. We'll pop on your lower. We'll pop that on, and then you got your pin. I only have the front one out. It is got a little notch in it, so you really can't go wrong as long as you As long as you line it up properly. I suggest you take the magazine out before you take it apart, because it works a lot easier. Pop your pins back on. You're together. Rack. Shoot. If the trigger pulls, you know you got that little mechanism inside the correct way. A lot of people take these apart, that falls out, they have no which way it goes, they put it back in and you can't pull the trigger. It simply won't fire if you have it backwards, just so you know. Now, so, functioning, everything functions pretty much. It's got a real nice realistic rack to it. Bolt and carrier look nice and realistic. Once you lube these up, they sound and they look great. The forward assist does not function. It does not come forward. I wish it did. I wish they put a little spring in there so you can at least have that forward assist realism to it. This has your safety, which is over here. All the way to the left, up front is your pew, and over to the right is your pew pew pew. Full automatic, folks. It's fun. It's nice. Your lettering on the side here is very, 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 very subdued. You can barely see it. I never even notice it unless I'm looking right for it. So that's a nice feature also. Comes with a mag pull style foregrip. Great for quick target acquisition. It's really quite a little battle rifle for sure. The realism, sometimes I put this next to a real one and you have a hard time telling the difference between the two for sure until you actually know what it is. So this is nice and fun. It does come with this little CP scope. I believe that's a Centerpoint brand. Yep, it is definitely. Yep, that's a Centerpoint Tactical red dot. I have it on right now because that's how it came with it, but I do not run this myself. I use a knockoff Trichicon for this one with a fiber optic. Just a knockoff, cheapy, but it's got a real fiber optic in it, and it's cool enough for an air gun for sure. It does have polymer flip up sights, which is great. Comes with them. I leave them on just in case something happens for a backup sight, just in case something happens to the red dot. It does have a mock flash hider with a reverse thread right there. That comes off. Let me reach down here and grab that for a second. Polymer. It's polymer. It looks good. You can't tell it's polymer until you touch it or take it off, actually. It's a very well built gun. Very well, fires nice. It stays generally on target. You're going to have fun with this. You can't have any big gripes about something of this. This is a quality piece that actually looked like it went through some decent engineering to get to this point. I don't see any reason why you couldn't find a reverse threaded mock suppressor to put on the end of this if you want that realism also. But I like the looks of this. I think it's great. I really wouldn't change anything aesthetically. This is pleasing to me. It feels good in the hands. It feels good as far as fit, finish, weight, quality. It's fun. I've never had a jam with this gun, and I shoot it a lot. That's for sure. So we're going to go into that rate of fire we were talking about real quick. Okay? So what I do, I found this out a long time ago when I got into the world of air guns and air gun ammunition. Now, everything's mass-produced no matter how you look at it. This is what I like to run in it, the Hornady Black Diamonds, which is nice, and I kind of use these as a backup. What's the Daisy Premiums? They're the Precision Max. I use those in a backup. They're real decent too. They're a close second when I run BBs. I'm not a Crossman BB fan because I find that they have, well, when they shoot good, they do shoot good. What I find is that they have the most blemishes in the BBs, and some of them are not quite truly round, and they get quite a bit of wobble coming out of the barrel. The Hornadays are probably the best as far as quality control goes. I'm not a Dust Devil runner. I don't see a need for them personally. I think they're a great idea if you like that thing, but for me, these are what I like. Now, like I said, I'm achieving rates. My highest recorded rate with this gun was 441 feet per second, and that's 11 over what what their suggested is on the box, what they're showing, what their claimed is. So that's pretty good. But you know, I'm generally in that range from 411 to just over that 430. So that's a consistent range that I'm getting. But when I get these BBs, what I like to do, can't do it here for you right now, but I take the BBs out and I dump them in a bowl, and I believe it or not, I give it a good wash with some detergent, and then I set them to dry. And then what I like to do is take a lubricant, and you guys are going, "Oh, lubricant, you're trying to diesel the gun." No, I'm not trying to diesel the gun. What I'm trying to do is take any impurities off of the BBs, just like I do with my pellets too. A lot of people have never heard of this, but there's a lot of imperfections and impurities in BBs and pellets. So what I like to do, I just carry this philosophy over from the pellet guns to the BBs, is make sure they're good and clean, make sure there's no debris on them, and then what I like to do is even if you just put a light penetrating oil, with different strokes for different folks. I'm sure a lot of people use better things than I do, but like an anti-fogger, what they put on engines so they don't rust. They use on the aluminum for the winter. That's really good. Even WD-40, as long as when you get done, you don't want a big thick film on it, but you want them coated. Okay. Not only that, it's great to store them like that. You're not going to worry about any corrosion of any sort on the BBs themselves when you do that. And you load them in, and it keeps your springs and your followers and everything nice and lubricated inside the gun also as they fire. But most importantly, they create a good seal in the barrel, which is very important, and it's very important for barrel life also. But that's going to give you that little bit of extra feet per second, and it's going to be very consistent as long as they're all done the same way. Now, I don't recommend you take every little BB and do it individually, of course. When you get a thing, these have all been done. All these have been done. These have been done, and more of it been done. Do the same thing with my pellets. So if you're looking for some more feet per second, that's great. Now, I don't diesel the pellets. I don't put lubricant on the back of the pellet or any type of Vaseline or Vicks or anything like that on the back of my pellets. I don't do it. If you're having great results with it, that's fine. Have I done it? Sure, I've done it. Just experimenting. I just don't do it because it doesn't keep my guns consistent that way. There's always a big variance in between shots, and I like my shots to be consistent. Not that you don't get great results from dieseling. Yeah, you can get some great supersonic speeds with pellet guns and dieseling, a lot of power, but it's not consistent power. So that's not the name of the game for me. But do I recommend these guys? I recommend them, and I recommend them before something happens and you can't get them. That's the thing, because something's going to happen, and I know everybody's feeling it, or you're not even going to be able to get these things. They're just very realistic and very fun. They're, responsible adults, responsible teenagers. They're great for responsible young adults and adults also. I have a great time shooting this. My daughters, it's something you want to teach your kids gun safety. It's a great training tool to do it too also. So if you like this video, I know this is just a quick short one, but I promised I'd do it. Just hit that like button, subscribe, share, and I don't leave links in descriptions where to get things, simply because things come and go, and every time you click on a link and you're on YouTube, usually the product's not there, or it's out of stock, or something of that nature. So if you want one, I'm sure you're going to look them up. You'll find out where to buy them, and you choose from a retailer that you find works for you. There's a lot of people who carry these. This particular one, I like to buy local. This particular one, I bought at my local sporting goods store. So that's just how I like to buy. If I could buy something local, I'll definitely use it. Not saying that there's not a lot of good online retailers out there, because there definitely is. Pyramid Air is fantastic. You can buy a lot of this stuff through eVike. I've dealt with eVike before. Only problem I have with eVike sometimes is their shipping times. It drives me nuts. But yeah, there's a lot of good retailers out there that are reputable, but these things are flying off shelves right now because they're such a great gun. Can't recommend it enough. yeah, Crossman, DPMS, same company, Panther Arms, they're all one and the same. They did a real good job on this. This definitely gets a M&B airsoft gun review of a 3 thumbs up. It's definitely amazing. So keep up the good work, Crossman, and I look for like a lot more products in the future. Hopefully we can get that next review on the Black Ops sniper rifle up for you with some shooting impressions, and I think you'll be very impressed with that once I get that up for you. Take it easy, YouTube, and you have a great day, and I hope to be seeing you again soon. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share. Peace out.